Good morning. Halloween is only a few days away. See what some people are doing to make this holiday one you won't forget.
Plus, the U.S. economy is on the rise. Find out why and how long it might last. Get that coffee ready and open up those eyes. You're waking up with Cardinal Weather.
From Ball State Unified Media, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, live from the Ball State Weather Center.
Good Friday morning to you. You're waking up with Cardinal Weather. I'm Madeline Kerr.
And I'm Catherine Segal. Halloween is Monday, and with the spooky costumes and late nights, there's something to look out on this frightful night.
Newslink Indiana's Olivia Sloniker sat down with University Police to learn more about how Ball State students can stay safe this holiday.
Trick-or-treaters, jack-o'-lanterns, and haunted houses. Halloween is upon us, and the city of Muncie is decked out in their best decor. Nonetheless, there's one aspect of the holiday that keeps University Police on their toes.
Sometimes we see large groups and, some of our students not paying attention to like traffic codes and stuff because their costumes sometimes obstruct their vision and stuff, so they're walking off sidewalks because they can't really see very well and stuff like that.
The department says they still get their fair share of phone calls to various places on campus, so they keep a watchful eye on students who choose to go out during the holiday.
Be aware of your surroundings, stay on the sidewalk if you can, travel in well-lit areas, try not to be in large groups in the street, that's helpful and stuff like that.
Junior Savannah Sturgill has her own hacks for taking care of herself and those around her when they're out.
So whenever I'm going out, I always make sure I'm going out with a friend that I know and that I trust. Before that, I've talked with my roommates. We've exchanged emergency contact information just in case something were to go down. We always try to update each other, like where we're going to be, where we're heading.
Chief Deckham encourages all students on campus to take care of themselves and others and to be extra careful when walking around campus during the weekend leading up to Halloween. In Muncie, Olivia Sloniker, Newslink, Indiana.
For any families looking to go out on Halloween night, the times for trick-or-treating are 5 to 8 p.m. in Muncie and 6 to 8 p.m. October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month.
And the Muncie area has released statements on its dedication to equitable hiring. The Office of Disability Services at Ball State stated, quote, "Alliance for Disability Awareness not only represents Cardinals with disabilities, but also educates, advocates, and guides a more accessible tomorrow." Muncie issued an accessibility statement via their City Hall webpage. Quote, "The City of Muncie is committed to inclusion and universal access in all of its services and programs. The city offers accessible transportation for employees on the MITS public buses. Each bus is equipped with ramps and all drivers are trained for disabled passengers. MITS has a program called MITS Plus where disabled passengers can reserve a van with door-to-door service. For more information on resources on equitable hiring or accessibility, visit ballstatedaily.com or cityofmuncie.com.
There is no shortage of haunted houses this time of year, but in St. Petersburg, Florida, there's a special one that not only makes you jump with fright, but smile in appreciation. As Robert Boyd reports, the entire haunted attraction is put on by adults with developmental disabilities.
Well, when it comes to Halloween here at Park, it's not just about scaring, it's about creating, motivating, and inspiring. However, this weekend, it is pretty scary.
From zombies to dead brides to witches and don't forget about the killer clowns. The Park Haunted House is the highlight of the year for these participants.
It's all about scaring people. It's really how many people we could scare.
Ronnie Williams is one of a dozen to help design, create, and act in this ghostly walk through the cemetery.
And I gotta tell you, this blood is pretty scary. I'm hoping it's fake, right?
Yes, it's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake.
You're gonna ride a horse, maybe?
Yeah.
And then scream at him?
Brian Rothy, Assistant Vice President of Adult Community Programs, says he knew the haunted house would be fun, but never realized the life skills it would also add.
An awesome team building experience. It has a social component to it. There's a lot of organizing that's going on. There's a lot of planning that has to happen. There's a lot of inventory lists that we have to make, and our participants are taking an active role in that.
I dreamed about being a killer clown ever since I was like a preteen. So it's kind of fun and it's kind of gruesome and spooky and scary and bleh.
And this weekend they'll have a chance to put all their hard work to the test as they invite family to visit, if they dare. Are you excited to scare your friends and family this weekend?
Yes.
Are they going to recognize you with all this blood?
No.
Of all the other scary characters, who are you the most afraid of?
The wolf.
Brian hopes the community appreciates how dedicated their cast of characters are.
The best part for me is the way that they talk about it throughout the entire year, at how excited they are, the smiles, the stories.
This Halloween house is passing out candy to trick-or-treaters should expect to spend a bit more money. According to a report from S&P Global Market Intelligence, the cost of chocolate and other candies are expected to rise by 14% compared to 2021. While the prices will be scary, it looks like Americans are not frightened by the increase. According to the National Retail Federation, consumers are still expected to spend about $500 million more on candy than last year.
And with Halloween decorations up, costumes decided, and candy bought, humans are ready for Halloween night, but what about the animals outside?
Newslink Indiana's Grace Binkowski took a closer look at how the holiday affects our outdoor friends.
Whether it be quick decor outside or some pumpkins on the porch, Nicole Harmon of Humane Indiana shared a few tips on how to display your Halloween decorations safely.
Every year, Humane Indiana Wildlife sees several patients that come into the rehab center who have been negatively affected by Halloween decorations.
Harmon says to be careful of your use of fake cobwebs on trees or bushes, since some animals like to hide inside. Bleached pumpkins should be out of reach of animals in case they get eaten. And decor with stakes shouldn't block pathways for critters. By taking these precautions, you're getting rid of potential dangers in your yard.
Still certainly decorate any way that you want outside, with the exception of that spider webbing. Be cautious of how long you keep those items up. I would definitely make sure I check it every day.
And it's not too late to think of some decorations that might be an animal's way. As Harmon says, the disposal of these decorations is just as important.
There are several outlets that you can use to be able to give, a second life to some of those Halloween decorations, like our pumpkins or those gourds that we put out. It's just making sure that we keep them away from roads so we can keep our wildlife out of the roads.
And remember, have a safe and happy Halloween. In Muncie, Grace Binkowski, Newslink, Indiana.
To learn more about Humane Indiana or about Halloween decoration safety, visit their website. Now, Madeline, are you excited for Halloween? Because I know I am.
Oh, absolutely I am. I am nervous, though, because I have heard whispers of rain on Monday, which is definitely going to cut into those trick-or-treating plans. We'll have to turn to Oliver to learn more. Oliver?
Well, we are definitely going to be seeing some rain this weekend. I'll have all that and more in my full forecast. But looking at these current temperatures, we're sitting at 35 degrees here in Muncie. Generally in the upper 30s throughout the rest of the state. 36 degrees here in Terre Haute as well as in Kokomo, only 39 degrees in Shelbyville. But these temperatures are definitely going to warm up as we make our way through the rest of the day. Today's forecast, mostly cloudy skies, high of 64 degrees, calm easterly winds coming at around 5 miles per hour throughout the rest of the day. So a pretty mild start for your weekend, but once we get actually into the weekend, that's when we're going to be seeing the precipitation. So again, mild rest of your week. Precipitation chances definitely increase as we get into Sunday and into Monday, Halloween day, and then we are almost back to those 70-degree temperatures as we get into the start and into the middle of next week. Again, I'll have all that and more in my full forecast.
Thank you, Oliver. Just ahead, the U.S. economy has seen an increase in its GDP. Find out if that's going to continue.
That's after your weather now. Welcome back. The time is currently
8:09, and you're taking a live look outside at the Foundational Science Building. Dropping their COVID-19 rules. Carnival Cruises is one of them. You won't need proof of vaccination or testing as long as your trip is 15 nights or less. The move comes about a month after Carnival began relaxing their COVID requirements. The cruise line, however, still encourages travelers to test for COVID 3 days before their trip. Princess Cruises made a similar change last week, lifting its remaining vaccine and testing requirements for a number of its voyages.
And the U.S. economy makes a rebound, but it may be short-lived. The Bureau of Economic Analysis reported yesterday gross domestic product increased by a yearly rate of 2.6% in the third quarter, according to initial estimates. The economy suffered declines in both the first and second quarter of this year. Analysts say the boost in growth was primarily bolstered by less imports from foreign countries and consumers spending more on travel and dining. However, another boost might not be likely in the near future. The Center for Economic and Policy Research says due to the Federal Reserve's ongoing rate hikes, it could take a while to see another positive report.
Warnings about a potential winter surge in COVID-19 cases have done little to encourage more Americans to roll up their sleeves and get the updated booster shot. Data shows interest in getting an additional shot is declining. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has a look at the numbers and why they're fueling concerns for the fall and winter.
3 viruses spreading at the same time in the U.S. flu, RSV, and COVID-19.
The good news here is that we're not powerless against this. For 2 of them, we have very high quality vaccines.
But as of last week, the Biden administration said only about 20 million people, less than 10% of the population ages 5 and up, had gotten the updated booster dose, which protects against the original coronavirus strain, as well as the Omicron subvariants BA4 and BA5. The numbers show declining booster interest even in U.S. seniors who are more likely to have been vaccinated against COVID-19 than any other age group.
The first and most important thing people can do is go out and get vaccinated, because that will keep people, kids, adults, everybody out of the hospital at very high rate.
2 early studies suggest the updated booster shots work about as well against BA4 and BA5 as the original boosters they replaced, suggesting our bodies have been well trained to fight the original virus, and the additional shots mostly reinforce that response.
The new vaccines keep up. I suspect that there may be another vaccine next fall, but we're getting into a tempo where for a majority of people, it's going to be a once-a-year updated vaccine.
But concern is rising about a potential surge in COVID cases this winter if people don't heed warnings to get their updated booster shots. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
According to a study done by the Commonwealth Fund published earlier this month, if more people in the U.S. get their booster by the end of the year, about 90,000 COVID-19 deaths could be prevented this fall and winter. Now we're going to toss it over to Jack for a look at our national weather.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Much of the nation is waking up to cool fall-like temperatures in the mid-30s. I mean, here in Muncie, we're going to be 35 degrees, a little warmer here in Minneapolis. Las Vegas and Los Angeles sitting at 49 degrees and 59 degrees, respectively. Now, we will be warming up a little bit today into the 60s for most of the country around us. We'll be 67 here in, 67 in Cincinnati, Kansas City at 66 degrees. Miami, look at that, pretty nice there. 80 degrees, pretty nice day down there because, of course, it's Miami. Of course, it's going to be nice down there. Tomorrow's highs for your Saturday going to be much of the same story as well. Los Angeles at a nice 71 degrees, and Seattle a little cooler at 56. We are seeing some of that cooler air move its way down, hence those cooler temperatures there. Now, looking at our current watches and warnings, this is kind of a cool thing to point out. So Salt Lake City, you can see with this dark blue shading here, that's actually a hard frost warning. And the difference between a regular frost warning like you would see down here in Denver and this hard frost warning happens when the temperature is going to be below 28 degrees. So it's way below freezing, whereas a frost warning is where temperatures could be, 30, 31 degrees, just a little bit below freezing, properly below freezing with that colder air moving down. Also, something we're looking at are these coastal flood warnings are going to be in this lime green right here in South Carolina up into New Jersey here. What that is that high tide today is actually going to be a little stronger than it usually is. So roads, have the potential to flood, so we do have to watch that for today. However, that will all be expiring by, around noon today. So that'll be kind of nice. Another thing we do have to look at is we do have a chance of severe weather down in the Houston area of Texas. We are seeing a strong line of storms develop behind a cold front that is moving through the area. So we do have to watch that. And we can see that here on our current radar. If we take a look, we can see these storms here. There's a cold front right around here that's pushing these storms through Texas right now. And as the air does heat up today, we will be seeing those chances for rain as well, and we will be seeing those chances for severe weather. So it is something we do have to keep an eye on this today and then this weekend as well.
Man, it's really looking like those temperatures are cooling down. I know, I got up yesterday and I saw frost on my car.
Oh, yeah.
I was not excited about that at all.
It was not fun. I had to get the scraper out, and it's my least favorite thing in the world
It's
right
the
there.
rain and the cold weather. That is the worst combination in my opinion.
Oh,
I do
absolutely.
not like that, especially when it starts to freeze and we get that frost.
Terrible.
Not a fan. But
Terrible.
I do like a nice fall weather.
Yeah,
Don't
the
get me
60s,
wrong.
70s, the temperatures are nice, but
Right.
once it starts...
Going down. Well, the issue is I'll get sick too. Earlier this week, I had the sniffles.
Absolutely, there's
Terrible.
just something
Sniffles.
going
The
on
sniffle,
around, obviously, yeah.
The creeping crud,
No, you're right.
Thank you so much, Jack.
Absolutely.
Ancient bacteria could be hidden on the surface of Mars. Scientists so far have not found any proof of life on the planet, but researchers created Mars-like conditions in a lab to determine if bacteria and fungi would survive. It turns out bacteria can survive for at least 280 million years if it was protected by the solar particles and ionizing radiation around the surface. Researchers say Mars could have been livable billions of years ago, but it has since become like a frozen desert with temperatures 80 degrees below Fahrenheit. More on this study can be seen in Tuesday's Astrobiology Journal. In just a moment, sectional football matchups are here in Delaware County.
That's after a message from Mintz.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students.
It's going to be a pack, and they're going to be off the best. We're going to toss it together.
Anywhere you want to go, Mitts will take you there.
Welcome back to Cardinal Weather. I'm Caleb Zuver. And I'm Dylan Selke, here to break down two sectional matchups here in Delaware County. In 1A Sectional 45, Monroe Central versus Sheridan. And in 3A, we are taking a look at Sectional 27, the Yorktown Tigers versus the Garrett Railroaders.
Now that we've seen the matchups, let's see what Monroe Central has done this season. And Dylan, I love this team. They have a great culture down there, great coaching staff, really good players. John Hochstetler, the head coach, has been in these high leverage situations before, these playoff games. He's taken teams deep into the playoffs. So they're not fazed at a Sheridan team that's 9-1 and that's having a really good story, a really good season. I think Monroe Central brings that to this game. They bring the experience that not only their coaches have, but their players as well. Some of these players have played in big playoff games as well, and I think they bring that to this game. I think it's going to pay dividends for them tonight.
Yeah, Monroe Central ranked 20th in the 1A class, as Sheridan is ranked 9th in the 1A class. Sheridan's on a 9-game win streak. They do not lose a lot. So Monroe Central's a heavy upset, or a heavy underdog this game, no doubt about it. However, the key to pulling off the upset for the Golden Bears will be dominating the time of possession. They run the ball a lot, and Sheridan runs the ball almost every single play. So it is going to totally come down to time of possession. Who has the ball in their hands most? As you said, time of possession in the trenches. This game is going to come down to, and it's going to be a close matchup to the very end. Monroe Central has a good chance.
That's right. Expect to see a low-scoring game, but that's what playoff football is all about. You got to grind it out. You got to be great in the trenches, and I think both teams are capable of that, and I think it's going to make for a really good game. So let's move to Yorktown versus Garrett, our second matchup. So what do you see here? Because I see a team in Yorktown that's having a great season. They're riding high, but you're you're going to note the turnovers, I'm sure. And Yorktown is a team that turns it over a lot, but they also take the ball away on the other side. Their defense is really good, but their offense needs to take care of the ball.
Yeah, Yorktown 7-3 on the season, as Garrett is only 3-7. So they're heavy favorites in this game. Really balanced team for Yorktown on offense. And they can beat you through the air, and they can beat you on the run game. It's going to come down to turnovers, as you said. It is. Yorktown turns the ball over a lot, but they also create a lot of turnovers. If Garrett can maintain the ball, not make any mistakes on offense, and if they can create turnovers on defense, they're going to have a good chance at it. It's going to be a long shot, no doubt about it. But Yorktown, if they can keep that ball safe and limit those turnovers, they should have no problem winning this game.
And I think Yorktown, you got a lot of momentum. You just beat your rival Delta last week to knock them out of the playoffs. I think they got a lot of momentum. So I like their chances here, but we'll get to that game in a second. Let's make our picks here. Monroe Central versus Sheridan. You want to root, obviously, for the Delaware County team, but who do you got here?
I'm going to have to take the upset here. Monroe Central with the upset. I think they dominate the time of possession. You know, they can pass the ball a little bit more than Sheridan does. They don't do it really at all. So Monroe Central, they stack that front seven. They keep the ball in their hands. They win that time of possession, and they win a close one, squeak it out at the very end.
I'm going to have to agree with you. Culture. Monroe Central has that. They have experience they're bringing to this game, and I think that matters more than anything. You know, you have guys practicing last year that were on, you know, the team that made a deep run, and now you're going to have them back this year. They're playing in these types of games. This is what you get up for. I think Monroe Central is going to be just fine. I think they might even surprise some people by how much they beat Sheridan by. I'm really high on the Golden Bears. So let's move to Yorktown versus Garrett, our last game. Who do you got here?
Oh, man, it's tough because obviously you want to root for Yorktown. They're the Delaware County. They're the local team. Man, but it just feels like too much of a trap game. I'm going to take the Garrett Railroaders to upset Yorktown in a big upset in the second round. You know, Garrett already won one sectional. It's the second round of sectionals. And you know what? I just think they create those turnovers, and they don't make mistakes on the offense. They squeak it out. It's going to be a low-scoring game, as the first game for Yorktown was. And they barely won the first one against Delta. I think they barely lose this one against Garrett.
So you're on the upsets. I'm going to play it safe here. I'm going to go with Yorktown. I like the way things are going for them. Like I said, beating Delta last week. They got some momentum. I'll take them here. Good job, Dylan. Thanks for that. Let's send it over to Oliver with the weather.
Dylan and Caleb. We are definitely going to be tracking some warmer temperatures throughout the rest of this week, but looking at these current temperatures, 35 degrees here in Muncie, 39 degrees in Shelbyville and Indianapolis, and generally in the upper to mid-30s throughout the state of Indiana. Now we are going to definitely be warming up as we make our way through today, but looking at this radar again, Jack Van Meter mentioned these storms down here in Texas, but here in Muncie, not looking at too much besides a couple of passing clouds. That cloud coverage is going to continue as we make our way through the day. Today, again, increasing temperatures as we go throughout. 40 degrees here at 9 a.m., 54 degrees at 12 p.m., and 5 p.m. we're going to definitely be seeing that high of around 64 degrees. Again, mostly clear skies throughout the rest of the day. Those clear skies are going to continue as we make our way into tonight as well. Again, partly clear skies, low at 37 degrees, winds coming from the east at 1 to 5 miles per hour. So pretty calm easterly winds that are going to continue as we make our way into tomorrow as well. High of 69 degrees. Gathering clouds, we are expecting some storms to come out of the end of Saturday night into the beginning of Sunday morning, but I'll be timing all that out after my Halloween forecast. Now again, official times for trick-or-treating in Muncie is 5 to 8 p.m. In Yorktown, it is 6 to 8 p.m. and we are expecting some storms and showers throughout all of Monday night. So if you want to throw on a jacket on top of your Halloween costume, that really would not be a bad idea. Wind is also expected to be picking up as you get into later Monday night. So throwing on a jacket or throwing on some type of warm over layer on top of your costume might not be a bad idea at all. Again, rain is expected. Highs are going to be in the high 50s throughout that entire trick-or-treating forecast. Now timing out, when are we going to start seeing those showers throughout this week. Looking at this persistent cast, again, we are going to be seeing some gathering clouds as you make your way into Saturday evening, and once you get into Sunday morning, that's when you're going to start seeing that rain start popping up here in the southern parts of our viewing area. Sunday in the mid-afternoon, that's when we're going to start seeing all these showers throughout the viewing area, and as we go through Sunday night and into Monday morning, we're going to be seeing a couple more intense pockets, but again, those spy showers continuing as we make our way into Monday afternoon and Monday evening. But looking at this 7-day, again, 69 degrees here for your high on Saturday. Cools down a little bit with that rain coming through. 80% chance on Sunday, 70% chance on Monday, and then warms right back up as you make your way through the middle and the end of next week.
You know, Oliver, I am so disappointed about the rain this weekend. Obviously, I know you don't control the weather,
Yeah.
but, you know, having to be, I guess, Spider-Man with a jacket, you know, it's just not going to be as fun.
It does lose the full effect, but I'm excited to hear that there's going to be some warmer temperatures at the end of the week for sure, and hopefully we can enjoy that before the rain.
Yeah, that's definitely the upside. Thank you so much, Oliver.
No problem.
In just a moment, see how this neighbor decorated their door for the trick-or-treaters.
That's after your weather now. Memoir will be published in January, which is titled Spare, in a nod to his nickname. Publishers Penguin Random House says the book will take readers back to, quote, two princes walking behind their mother's coffin as the world watched in sorrow and horror, end quote. Adding, quote, for Harry, this is his story at last, end quote. The Duke of Sussex plans to support several charities with the proceeds from the book sales. It will also be issued in 16 languages worldwide.
Think you're a puzzle master? I definitely am, and Costco is about to challenge that notion. The big box retail store is selling what it dubs to be the world's largest jigsaw puzzle. Made up of 60,000 pieces, the final product ends up being 29 feet long and 8 feet tall. Wow, and to make it easier to tackle, the jigsaw can be divided into 60 smaller puzzles. It features a map of the world with different famous landmarks in lieu of the ocean. Costco's giant jigsaw will cost you $599, including shipping and handling.
Ooh, that puzzle makes my brain hurt. And a very creative dad in Iowa is putting other homeowners' Halloween decorations to shame by bringing his front door to surreal and spooky life. Jeremy Roth warns us to beware the monster door. In today's Take a Look at This.
In the Halloween decorating game, there's lame, and then there's destined for fame. Behold the Monster. It's the latest creepy and crafty concept from industrious Iowa dad Greg Dietzenbach, who went viral a couple of years ago for crafting this interactive monster Zoom call costume for his daughter. For this year's crazy creation, Dietzenbach had to craft a front door from scratch. He then incorporated a high-def TV for the blinking eyes, animated arms constructed from broom handles, and a homemade foam-hinged wreath for the monster's moving mouth. It's sure to add a scare to the sweet surprises waiting for trick-or-treaters. That is, if the kids even stick around for the candy. The other front stoop staple of Halloween is, of course, a fabulous festooned pumpkin. Haven't prepped a pumpkin yet, you say? Good Gord, what are you waiting for? With Halloween just days away, there's no better time to take in some clever pointers from viral carving consultant Barbara Costello. The social media savvy 73-year-old took to TikTok with tip-top tips like carving your pumpkin from the bottom instead of the top, using a hand mixer for quick and clean seed removal, that's legit genius right there, trading carving tools for cookie cutters in a pinch, and even using Vaseline to prolong its life. Priceless pumpkin hacks for happy pumpkin hacking. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Catherine, I'm really excited for Halloween this weekend. You know, do you have any Halloween plans going on?
Yes, I'm going to be a firefighter. So,
Really?
yeah, that's my costume plan. I love to dress up for Halloween. It's my favorite holiday, actually.
Same,
do you
same,
have any
absolutely.
costumes?
Oh, I'm so excited. I have like 3 different costumes that I'm planning to do. I am so excited for Halloween. It's also one of my favorite holidays. It's so much fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
Same with me. And after 36 drawings in a row with no grand prize winner, the Powerball jackpot now stands at $800 million. Wow, okay. No ticket matched all 6 numbers in Wednesday's drawing, which was estimated at $700 million. The cash value of the prize is now nearly $384 million. This would be the second largest prize in Powerball history. The biggest of all time was $1.586 billion in January 2016. Look out for the next drawing on Saturday. And now we're going to toss to a final look at weather.
Well, again, we are going to be seeing some showers throughout this weekend, but hopefully a warm-up as we get into the beginning and into the middle of next week. I'm seeing that high of 69 degrees there on Thursday, and I am very excited for that.
Yes, very excited for Halloween, very excited for some warmer temperatures, and we'll look out for that rain. That is all for Cardinal Weather for this Friday morning. Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you next Friday. Be safe, have a great rest of your Friday, and a very spooky weekend.